Boom! Oh, shit. Look who is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think I've been this excited for an episode in Cannabis Rocky, everybody. I mean, she needs no introduction here in the Las Vegas cannabis community. We've been hype about this. We've been planning it.
Dude, I've been so excited about being on this Wake and Bake. I wanted to be on this Wake and Bake. Like, this is not something that Sam Sky... Eventually, I was going to come up to him and be like, Sam Sky, can I be on this Wake and Bake? I'm super excited about this, man. This is awesome.
Fuck yeah, we're making it happen.
What a great way to start the day.
Great way to start the day and the week.
Yes.
I mean, the trajectory is going to be huge this week, folks. Like, Cannabis Rocky here for Motivational Monday on the Weekday Wake and Bake. It is so lit. I am so excited to have you smoke some of this pot and chop it up.
And Mondays should be motivational. Honestly, I know Mondays for a lot of people just suck, but Mondays should be motivational. It should start your week and give you fresh ideas for the new week. And for me, I love. I like to start my week off fresh on Mondays and try to get my.
And if you can tackle Monday really well, the rest of the week just feels like more of a breeze.
Yeah.
Like, once you get Monday under your belt, if you can get some good vibes going. So that's just what we're going to be the dream team of positivity here this morning on the Wake and Bake.
With this grinder on Wake and Bake all this whole time, I never noticed.
Every time. I fucking love the pot. It's like
that thing is like, holy crap.
Holds well over a zip.
Yeah, when you're done, you can crush your metal cans with it.
Yeah, your metal cans. Recycle them. That's funny as fuck.
No, this thing is huge, guys. It's like, fucking what a way to roll a grinder, son.
Fuck yeah, I appreciate you, Rocky.
So you know what I've been noticing here, my dude? A lot of really great spoons on this table, bro.
Yes.
Especially that high bud tender spoon, but I'm
headlined by this high bud tender spoon roll, gang. That is the shit, right? We get into that, no doubt, but thank you, everybody, for tuning in to a new episode of the Weekday Wake and Bake Motivational Monday. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, you guys are all a shit. Thank you so much for tuning in. So, if you guys don't know Cannabis Rocky, then you probably are like, well, I don't want to offend anybody, but you gotta get woken up. This is my role model of the Vegas cannabis community here, and she is the host of the original Sesh podcast with bud tenders and industry professionals called the High Bud Tenders Podcast. They have these sweet rolling spoons, high bud tender spoons.
Yes.
But honestly, your podcast makes waves. It is revolutionary. It's the first cannabis podcast that I dedicatedly listen to.
I think with a podcast you have to not have any expectations of grandeur. You have to do it because you love it, and you have to do it because you want to educate. There's a lot of podcasts out there, or, even if it's not educational, even if it's fun, it has to be real fun.
Yeah.
Right? So,
no doubt.
It's a tough situation, but it's worth it in the end. I mean, if you have a passion and you want to teach, or podcast is one of the easiest ways to get it cracking, to be honest.
Yeah. Do you want to roll one by chance, too?
Sure.
If you want, or I could roll one for you. It's completely up to you.
You know what? I'm gonna let Sam do it, because Sam is one of those people that rolls, and I've never had I'm gonna say this, and I don't mean to jinx you on this, Sam, but you're one of the best rollers because your stuff doesn't run.
Hey, I appreciate it.
And do we give that to the rolling spoon? Is that in part due to the rolling spoon there?
Gotta roll that precious herb, and I honestly attribute it just to the straight edge. like in order to have an even burn, you have to distribute your herb evenly.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I appreciate that, Rocky. I take so much pride in rolling up, and because whenever you're smoking, it's such a vibe. Like this wake and bake, we can't afford to be like babysitting our joint.
Right.
But we are definitely going to be having some dimes here this morning, and I just can't wait to chat with you. Like, you've been coming out with some dope episodes. Like, your last one in particular about the G4 Live Bud Tender Awards.
Yes.
So lit. How'd you like your event?
Dude, it was really, really good. I think it's one of those things that highlights and focuses on the bud tenders, which is really tough. You don't see too much of that out there. You see a lot of brands highlighted. You see a lot of dispensary highlights. You don't see a lot of bud tender highlights. So I think I thought it was a great way for bud tenders to elevate their, you know what I mean? And if they want to do something in the industry, you also can be a person that's, getting with other people, going to those events, networking, doing all the things. And like, you don't have to be bud tender forever. As much as we love it, and we want you to educate people and service people and help patients and things of that nature. Everybody wants to move somewhere in the industry. And if you have a brand or something like that you want to kick off, that's what High Bud Tenders is all about, man.
Yeah, honestly, it really is. And like, you guys had an amazing booth. You were telling me to come, and like, I was not planning on coming to G4 Live, and then Cannabis Rocky was like, oh, it's so much fun. So I got blessed by my friend Sky Rain. She got me her ticket because she wasn't able to come. And my favorite booth by far, the High Bud Tenders booth. Like, they were just trapping the rolling spoons. They were raffling off, like, what was it? A bong?
We did a bong. We had a chill bong. We had a chill bong. We also had a dab rig. We had a Whack It grinder giveaway with a robot. Dude, if you don't have a robot, man, and if you can't roll a joint, that's the way to go. A robot SARS. So nice, Whack It. You guys do a phenomenal job with that.
Yeah, the robot. I haven't tried one of those yet, but definitely, I was hoping that I would win it, but that lucky fucker that got that thing is probably rolling one up right now.
But here's what's nice, is that with every device that's like that, rolling spoon is always important. You know that? Like, I have to have it on the table. Yeah. I never thought I needed the rolling spoon until the rolling spoon walked into my life.
I appreciate it. Like, it really, like, if you don't know how to roll, it's not gonna really help you too much. But like, if you are trying to get your herb from your grinder to your roller, then it's a good distribution method for sure. Because I don't know, even people that pack cones need a poker and a little packing tool.
Plus, the really nice envelope fold.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, honestly, that's important. Do you guys, like, roll at the top? Rocker. Like, are you guys one of those that, like, finish the joint and roll it at the top? I don't know if is it just me? Maybe you can let Sam know. It burns a little, like, wonky, right?
Whenever you twist the top.
Yes.
No doubt.
If you envelope fold.
I'm so glad you said that.
Yeah, you have an even, like, burn, I feel.
And the cherry when you start the joint. I mean, that's exactly what we're doing today for the rest of the week. If you don't spark your week properly, you're not. It's going to be tougher to get motivated. But since we're sparking this week off with a beautiful episode, Cannabis Rocky, we're not going to have any runs this week. We're just going to be running the game.
That's it. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, got to spark it off nice. You get a little bit, you can char off the envelope fold instead so that.
Yeah. To all you people out there that are in the Vegas cannabis industry, look out for a lot of really great events coming to you in Vegas. Right, Sam?
Yeah.
Just get active in your cannabis industry, especially if you're a bud tender. I always talk about the bud tenders out there. All those events are for you too. You may not think so, but guess what they are. So come on down. You know what I mean? The chamber just had a really good event.
Yeah,
right?
It was a banger. It was a banger.
Yeah, so good. The Phoenix Cannabis Awards just passed through. It was a nice little 4-hour drive. But really, really nice. A really great event. We had G4 Live last week. You know, I mean, get active in your industry because, man, make that impact. We know you have the great ideas.
Mm-hmm.
So we know the bud tenders are sitting on all the great ideas because you're in the dispensary all day. You try all the cannabis. You've tried out all of the different types of merchandise, you know.
Yeah.
So you have, like, the upper hand.
Yeah.
You know? Like, as a bud tender, you have the upper hand.
No doubt.
So, yeah, and honestly, when I met Sam, I'm like, Sam, man, this is going to be great. Do what you got to do. You know, this is awesome. And I would see Sam at all of the events. And that's important to get yourself out there. Now we just know equal people in common. Nobody ever says,
true.
yeah. And the cannabis industry is like an embracing industry.
It really is, but honestly, I will say, like, Vegas cannabis particularly is super great.
Yeah.
I don't know. There are so many like-minded individuals, and I was up in Northern California for a while. It's nothing like this. Like, I met 0 people as advanced and, like, down to earth as you up in NorCal, and it's like there's a lot of people that get with us.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah,
and everybody's getting real active in the industry, especially the new states that are recreationally legal now. There's just a lot of states doing some really great things. A lot of people are moving to Oklahoma, man.
Yeah.
Like, that market there is, like, getting
feisty. It really
I want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Oklahoma, reach out to the bud tenders.
Yeah, I hope they're getting a community like here. But, like, honestly, it's people like you that, like, make this community home. But also, like, someone like Rebecca Perrick of the Lady-Led Collabs that episode was one of my favorites of yours. Rebecca Perrick is this amazing woman who created this collaboration of industry professionals called the Lady-Led Collabs with her friend Brie Padilla. And Becca Perrick went on the High Bud Tenders podcast and went off. Was that so much fun?
Dude, she's such a wealth of knowledge in the industry. I love talking to Rebecca, and if there's anything you ever want to know or find in Vegas, Rebecca is the girl. She has her and Brie have probably one of the best events in the city.
Absolutely.
Guaranteed. Every time a Lady-Led Collabs event, just go. Just go and see for yourself. Dude, that bus, did you end up going on the 420 bus?
I didn't.
Dude, the 420 bus, Lady-Led Collabs, man,
Holy shit!
They all about. So it was 2 bus tours. They went to all these dispensaries, but then you also got to, like, sesh and do some things in between, and they had really great stuff that they gave away to everybody.
Holy shit!
It was just amazing. It was the dispensaries. If you haven't been to some dispensaries, it was good to learn, you know, how their process is and all that good stuff. But it gave a great idea to the industry, you know, what we're working with, and, like, just to have those moments where you can hang out and network and chill with your friends in the industry, man, that's the best. To sesh with your friends in the industry is, like, my favorite thing.
It really is.
Yeah.
And, like, whenever you're listening to your show, like, especially that one, like, you just kind of feel like you're seshing with you guys.
Yeah.
And you get a lot of really unbelievable content from actual industry's top professionals. Like, that episode was a banger. And another one I wanted to bring up was the one with the first bud tender of the month, Jason of the Mojave, Jason Manson. Like, what a guy. You guys have bangers.
Keep that name in mind, Vegas, because Jason's just going to take over, man. He is a mover and a shaker. He knows what to do. You know, the funny story with Jason of the Mojave was that I knew Jason before he was a bud tender. He actually...
No!
Yes, Jason, you know this is a true story. he reached out to us, the High Bud Tenders podcast, and he was asking us about the bud tending industry, and came out here and literally murdered the game. You know
Actually,
what I mean?
I'm shook. He was like hitting you guys up like, so you guys kind of coaxed in one of the best bud tenders in the city, in the country probably, and you were like kind of coaching him up with your podcast.
We actually didn't even have to coax him. I think he already had like a path. I already think he had an idea before he came into Vegas, or came into the industry rather, what he wanted to do and how he wanted to map himself out. I mean, one of the greatest people, I actually hand delivered. He ordered a shirt and I hand delivered. I called him and I asked him, hey, do you mind if I hand deliver the shirt to you? And he's like, yeah, because man, you know, to have somebody send you feedback back and they're like, hey, send you feedback and they're like, it's educational, it's really great, I love what you guys are doing, man, that drives me so much. It's like the gas in the tank, right? It fuels you up and you want to do more. So when you hit a patch and you're like, man, I'm not getting the right audience, or maybe I did something wrong, or blah, 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 blah. It's those little moments where people are like, wow, man, this really, your podcast really was great. I can run miles on that. You know what I mean? Like, it's amazing.
Well, it really does change the game. Like, it's so, like, I mean, that's the thing about your podcast is it's like you're having such, like, low-key and authentic conversations with amazing industry professionals. And that's even if you don't think you coached him up. Or, like, because I'll say that's like me. I listened to your show a lot before I had the guts to like hit you. It just forms such a ideological but realistic view of the industry. You get like unfiltered views into what's going on, and it's a must listen to.
I appreciate that, man. I really do. Like, I think it's when we started this podcast, Drell and I we were bud tenders, and we were in the thickets of it, and we had already had been doing this for a few years, and the whole point was that we would see brands come into dispensaries, and even though you get samples and stuff like that, sometimes some things are amiss, right? So you don't get to try the brand or the product, and it could be a new brand or product, or a product that was built by a company that's by POC, or you know what I mean, and then their product dies because the bud tenders don't sell it.
Yeah.
Right? Especially in a really large dispensary, things can go months without even being sold because you're not aware of the brand or the product, and you're not going to try it. You're not going to spend your hard-earned money because it's a risk, right? Like, weed is not cheap, just an FYI. So I think that was one of the things that like propelled people to want to learn more or listen more onto the podcast, is that, you know what I mean? Like, it was learning it was just educating people on the brands that people have no idea about. Oh, did you know that Camp was solventless? A lot of their stuff, their extractions are solventless. So if you're worried about having any kind of extraction process, if it's just something that sits on the back of your mind, that the heavy extraction processes are something that you don't want to engage in, hey, there's a company called Camp, and they do solventless. So if you have it in your store and you haven't tried that, vape or whatever, it gives you an idea of what it is. And how you can sell it. You know what I mean? And also, too, it helps bud tenders say to the companies that they have, hey, man, can we try those items? Is there any way we can get samples of those items? There's nothing wrong with asking to get samples for something or to get education on a brand.
Yeah.
So that's why we started the High Bud Tenders podcast, was to bridge that gap so that we wouldn't be like, what is this? Why didn't we sell it? And then when something would go like super clearance, we'd buy it, and it would be the bomb.
Yeah.
And then we wish to ourselves we would have sold it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, damn, just such a crucial role in the industry. Like, people don't understand, really. It's like the linchpin. It's the connection between the people in the industry. And, we gotta cherish the bud tenders, and And like this episode of the Weekday Wake and Bake is brought to you by the High Bud Tenders today.
Yeah.
The like pinnacle of cannabis content here in Vegas. This unbelievable High Bud Tenders spoon here. And just so happy to be like having this sesh with Cannabis Rocky this morning. It is Motivational Monday, so maybe we could read into and just share our takes on a couple motivational quotes.
Yeah.
From Helen Keller and Ben Franklin. I mean,
dude, yeah,
those people know what they're talking about.
Do it.
Yeah. So Helen Keller said, "Find people who make
important."
Yeah.
Dude, mind-blowing words. You should be able to like help each other.
Simple, but like almost the essence of life. Like, I mean, it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, I just thought that was a great quote for this show specifically because like I just appreciate that you picked me up. You know, your energy brings the best out of me and all other people. Like when you walk in a room, that energy, that's why we value our relationship. And like, you have to find people and value people that make you better, you know? Discern the toxic relationships. Not everybody's for everybody.
Yep.
But it changes your construct.
Yeah.
That makes you better.
Yep, and they're not jealous of your glow. You know, you should be able to shine.
Yeah.
And people should be able to feed off that shine, and you feed off of other people's shine.
Yeah.
If you're feeling any other way different, you need to kind of rethink your way of thinking because it's so much. This world is communicate with people on a level that's a little bit more understanding. You know what I mean? Like empathetic. You know, you don't know what anybody is going through. That's the reason why when I've chosen retail, I've always been able to have like a level head is because when you run into people, you never know what that person is going through in their life.
100%.
So if they come in and they're raging, you don't know why they came in raging. And I understand that there is no excuse for that, but we've all been there, right?
Yes.
We've all been in a point where we've said or acted in a way where we're ashamed about it.
No doubt.
You know what I mean? And so your friends are always going to be the ones that are going to be like, yeah, you know what? It wasn't the best move, but I still support you. You're my friend. I love you to death. Don't do it again. You know what I mean? And so I think that's it. Yeah. Surround yourself around the people that, you know what I mean, are going to help you to grow, you know, and help each other grow. It's important.
Yeah, you're kind of part of one of the power couples in the industry too. Like, I will say, you and Linda. Yeah, just emanate both great energy and I don't know, just always so much fun to see you guys. I see you guys a lot at industry events and stuff, and I don't know, just love your guys' energy. It's better too. It's just a cataclysm of positivity.
Yeah. Well, if there's anything, man, let me tell you, there's a lot of support because she doesn't smoke. She consumes edibles at a very low rate, but it's because her tolerance is really great, which is fantastic. I wish I could have her tolerance. But she doesn't smoke or anything like that. So really everything is about support. And if you find somebody that you have to support them too.
Yeah.
So I have to be able to show up to mortgage events and, you know, hang out with people that are going to talk about houses and, you know, selling things and, you know, the process of, but that's a give and take. Love is about, you know, mutual understanding and give and take at the same.
Yeah.
You know,
balance.
Yeah, balance.
100%. What a sentiment. Find people who make you better from Helen Keller. And then the next one here is from Benjamin Franklin, and he says, "Well done is better than well said." And it's kind of like a circular thing because we are kind of just saying stuff, but we're also doing something like else. You know, like for you have such an impact on base. and on the viewers of your podcast, and for me as well, like similarly. But it's a lot like making criticism is different than making an action.
Yeah.
And I don't know, Ben Franklin with a little hint of like a call to action, if you will.
Yes. Well, talk all of your dreams into light. You know what I mean? Like, don't talk about it. Do it. The doing part is that holds people back. That's like the wall. You know what I mean? Especially in the cannabis industry, bro. Like, don't let that be the wall. You know what I mean? You know people. Talk to people. Let people know. You never know if you're going to run into somebody that's like, you're trying to open up a business. You have the business savvy to do so. You have the years of knowledge. They have the money.
Yeah.
They're looking for what you have. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about the doing. I get that totally. Like, you could be like, man, when I get older, I'm going to build a ship and sail around the world. Do it. If you're going to do it, start it now. Do it. You know, everything takes time. If it's something that you really want to do and you're passionate about it, don't allow anything to, because honestly, we're our worst enemy, right? Our saboteurs are like, you can't do this. You can't. And you're like, yeah, you know what? You're right. And it's just you telling you that you can't. Do you know how long I wasted time doing that? Oh my God, years.
Like
don't do that. Just do it. Like,
and then you sent it? Is that like how you was that anything to do with your...
Like...
For real?
I'm going to tell you, dude. Jarrell said to me, hey, you should be on this podcast. I woke up the next morning and I said, I want to do the podcast. I want to do it with him. Maybe he'll do it with me. Maybe I can get on the podcast. Maybe he'll let me be a co-host. You know what I mean? On his idea. There was nothing there yet. It was just an idea. And I always give Jarrell that credit because I give credit where credit is due, right? You asked me to be on your podcast. You were starting something up in a couple weeks. Go.
We
did, yeah. He was like he just needed I feel like the extra spark was needed to happen, almost like we had a synergy, right? And then we decided to do it. That was the moment where life changed for me because I was like, oh my God, we have a podcast that's like on every single podcast service possible. Like, not every single one, but most of them. Look through. I mean, on the most obscure things, you'll find the High Bud Tenders podcast. So, yeah, that was the start of things that have just now, I'm
an explosion.
Yeah, because I'm a shy person, believe it or not. I'm not real, people think I'm super extroverted. I know people say that, but I do get shy often. And so, asking people for things or asking people to help or ask people to lend a helping hand in something that you're very passionate about, you shouldn't feel bad about doing that. Sometimes you're just going to run into people that are so passionate too that energy is going to be like cataclysmic. It's like fucking
yes, a cataclysm.
And it's amazing. You know what I mean? Like, it's
fireworks.
It's huge. It's fireworks. So, take the opportunity to get to know the people in the industry. Be a doer, right?
Yeah.
So
be a doer.
This Ben Franklin quote, man, I'm going to think about this all day because I think it's important, right? You could say things, but do them. You know what I mean? Do them.
Yeah, that was so amazing. Honestly, that was really awesome. It gave me chills knowing that. It was just it was talk into action.
Yes.
You made it rapid. And that is the High Bud Tenders podcast. That's it. You guys just sent it, and you created something special.
Right.
That, made ripples and ripples and ripples.
Yeah.
And I got taken in. And, that is truly, you should be really proud of that. That's a fucking amazing story. Gave me absolute chills, honestly.
Thanks, bro. It's how it started, to be honest. And it was the point in my in life where everything changed, and I wanted to be a part of something bigger in my life. And now I talk to everyone, and everything is an opportunity in life. And I'm going to take those opportunities, and you should too. You should absolutely too.
Everyone.
So get to know people. Hit us up at High Bud Tenders. If you don't know and you're in a certain state, we'll help you look that shit up. You know what I'm saying? Like, no lie. That's how we feel about it. We want you to elevate yourself. I want to like know people in the industry where it's like, that person was a bud tender.
Yeah.
And they blew it up in the industry.
Yeah. And somehow the people that hit you up are always the motivated ones too, somehow. I don't know how it feels that way. But everybody, like at High Bud Tenders, yeah, Instagram, they're 100% must follow. Absolutely, like Cannabis Rocky's head is on the Mount Rushmore of the Vegas cannabis industry. And like you guys, if you guys don't know why, then you're mad sleeping. But so before we wrap this wake and bake up, Cannabis Rocky and I, we're gonna do Cannabis Rocky's gonna help me kick off the first ever rips. We're gonna give her 5 rapid fire questions. You don't really have to think about it. Just fire them off if you can, and they're going to be good. I'm super excited about this.
I'm excited.
All right, you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Tap in. Let's go. Beep. All right, so question 1. Name all of your dogs, the cutest horde of little dogs ever, and we need them all.
Valentino, Sophia, Cavalli.
Yeah?
Yeah.
They are so adorable. They're running around always.
They're my faves.
Yeah, they're so cute. One more time. Sorry, I'm trying to get them myself.
Valentino, Sophia, Cavalli.
I met them all, but I love their names. They're so unique. All right, favorite consumption method?
I always smoke joints. I'm a joint smoker. Like everybody knows, you pass the blunt, I'm going to smoke it. But for the most part, I roll joints.
Yeah, joints, Me too. If I get past the blunt, sure.
Yes.
That's exactly me. 3, favorite terpene?
Terpinolene.
Yo, I'm tripping. That's amazing.
Yeah, terpinolene is just a really happy, motivating, it could be super like mind elevating. I love that.
And the flavor's great.
Oh my gosh. And when you put terpinolene in anything, it's just...
Anything. Woo. Yeah, makes it hum. Yeah, let's go. All right, favorite TV series?
Favorite TV series? Man, that's a tough one. I would probably have to say, wow, what can I not have lived out? Oh, Handmaid's Tale. I couldn't live without it. Yeah, I had to watch the new episodes. Handmaid's Tale was just one of those things. Absolutely Fabulous. There was a British comedy TV series in the 90s called Absolutely Fabulous. If you know it, hit me up at High Bud Tenders. Let me know you know it.
Fuck yeah. All right, last one. If you could sesh with anyone, alive or dead, who would it be?
I could sesh with anyone, alive or dead. Oh man, this is easy. Billie Holiday.
Billie Holiday?
Yes.
Wait, I don't know. Billie
Holiday is a jazz singer. And from the 40s, and she had some of the best music possible. It was real. It was real. There was real life things going on in her life, and she was singing about it. And at a time where it started, honestly, if we could talk about cannabis, at that time started a whole prohibition of cannabis. Wow. And so they utilized a lot of jazz singers and a lot of jazz greats to take down people, for drug usage and hold people back from doing truly great things. And really, in all honesty, they were just playing music and loving life. You know what I mean? And look that up, dude. Look up the jazz. Look at the jazz era in the 40s, and you'll see that prohibition really cracked down on our beautiful black people and jazz greats. And it was bad times. So you have to do your homework on that one. But before I knew it, I loved Billie Holiday. I've loved Billie Holiday since I was 8 years old. My mom she used to listen to it, so I just ended up picking it up. But some of the words to the songs in the 40s are a lot. You know what I mean? She's talking about like getting beat up by her husband or getting beat up by her dude. You know what I mean? And real life situations and how you overcome those back in the 40s because the life was totally different. You know, it was a different era.
Yeah.
But, you know, I always tell people educate yourself on how this prohibition of cannabis started.
Wow, interesting. I haven't even heard of her.
Ann Slinger. Look up the name Ann Slinger.
No, I know Henry Anslinger.
Yeah,
Harry.
Yeah.
Henry or Harry?
I think it's Harry.
He was born in the same hospital as me.
Yeah. So look up Ann Slinger and jazz. Do yourself a favor.
Gross.
Go on Google Ann Slinger jazz, and then you'll get a whole history of how the jazz era was probably the height of the jazz era. How many people were being fucking just
abused?
Yeah, dude, it's terrible. Look it up.
Yeah, I got to too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yo, huge shout out, Cannabis Rocky of the High Bud Tenders podcast. I am so elated that you came through. Like, this was an absolute banger. You're the best ever.
I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you with all my heart. You're one of the best people that I've met in the industry. I'm not kidding.
Oh.
I don't say shit that I do not mean. Sam, you're a wonderful person. I appreciate you guys for motivation. For Motivational Monday, stay high, stay elevated, stay high, Bud Tenders.
Yeah, High Bud Tenders gang. Yo, shout out High Bud Tenders pod.